Joining me now is Congressman Mark Pocan, a Democrat from Wisconsin and the chair emeritus of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Congressman Pocan, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. So are you as encouraged as the Speaker of the House?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me, Jonathan. Absolutely, I am, because this is something that is a priority for Democrats, from Joe Biden down to every member of the House and Senate. We support the values that are in the Build Back Better Act, the infrastructure bill. And you have several hundred people right now all rowing together, Democrats in the House and Senate, to get this done. There's a couple handfuls that are still picking what kind of wood they want their ore to be made out of. We'll get there. But I am confident, as is Speaker Pelosi, that we're going to get both of these big bills done and really provide some help to American families.
OK, let me have you listen to your successor, the new chair of the House Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal of Washington, what she had to say about where things stand with her.
At the end of the day, if we don't have the reconciliation bill done, the infrastructure bill will not pass.
Those who believe that progressives are bluffing about tanking the bipartisan infrastructure bill, if that bill comes first, what do you have to say to them?
Try us. I got more than half of the caucus who feels very strongly we're going to deliver the entirety of the president's agenda to the president.
So, Congressman Pocan, you've got Congresswoman Jayapal saying to, quote unquote, moderates, try us, we could sink the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. When there's talk like that, and granted, that's from Wednesday, we're now at Sunday. Are you concerned that the divide between the two wings of the Democratic Party won't be bridged to a sufficient manner to allow all of these things to pass this week in the way that the Speaker wants?
Well, first, remember, political years are like dog years, right? Wednesday's a long time ago. Here's exactly where we're at. We want to get the entire agenda that Joe Biden has done. That agenda, the Build Back Better agenda, involves the Build Back Better Act, so also known as the reconciliation bill, and the infrastructure bill. They're twin bills that we've always said we're going to move together, and that's exactly, I think, what's going to happen with them. But, to the Democrat, people support these values. I don't think any Democrat right now who's still picking what wood's going in their ore is deciding that they're going to go back and explain why they didn't get child care done for their constituents, or why they didn't get family leave done, or why we didn't expand Medicare or reduce the cost of prescription drugs. What's important not is the process, and everyone right now is focusing on the process, it's the product. And at the end of the day, this is going to be a tax cut for 40 million American families who have children via the tax credit. It's going to reduce the costs for American families through paying less for prescription drugs and childcare, family leave, and a whole lot of other areas. It's going to create millions of jobs, though, Jonathan, too. I just want to mention, many of which have a green focus, a climate change focus, and it's paid for. So this is a popular agenda. And I think at the end of the day, any wavering Democrat who might have a special interest or two maybe in their ear trying to slow this bill down, because that's the real opponents. It's Big Pharma and the special interests that don't want to pay for this. We will get this done because Democrats' values are exactly what's in this bill.
Right, which gets to the question I wanted to ask, and that is this. Are we getting too hung up on the price tag and not focused on the product, as you call it, which is something that Congresswoman Susan DelBene, also of Washington, said on Lawrence O'Donnell's show? And I bring that up because is it possible that this bill, the reconciliation bill, could come in under $3.5 trillion, still do all the stuff of the Build Back Better agenda, but for less money?
Again, Jonathan, I agree. It's the product that matters. So at the end of the day, there's shared values. We're going to see what those things cost. And whether it's 3.5 or if it's a different cost because of some other accounting, don't forget, we just marked this up through the House committees. As of last week, we were still finishing getting our CBO scores. What's important is what's in the bill as passed by the House. Those are important values that are really going to help people. And Joe Biden is very committed to it. And I agree with you. As long as those values are there, that's what we want to get done. But we've got to have both of those bills go together. They're twin bills. You wouldn't separate twins, and we're not going to separate these bills.
I find it interesting that the price tag, there's some wiggle room there. Well, last question for you. And Am I wrong in thinking that all of the red line drawing that we have seen over the past week, and that I'm sure we're going to keep seeing until the votes are taken, that this is the storm before the calm, that one day we're going to wake up and boom, breaking news, there's an agreement?
Jonathan, I agree again. I mean, I think these values are democratic values. We know our constituents want these things: affordable childcare, family leave policies, expanding healthcare options. There's so much in here that's good for American families, and they are democratic values. So even the people who are a little slow to come to the party, there's several hundred of us who are there. And as Nancy Pelosi said, there's not an inter-party fight. The opposition really out there is big pharma and these special interests, many of which are running commercials, trying to pressure members of Congress.
Right.
I think we're bigger than this. And Joe Biden has done a great job in rallying us as well. And this will happen. It may not be Monday. It may be Wednesday. It may be the following Wednesday. End of the day, what matters is the product, and we will deliver.